For those of you with your own TradingView strategies, or if you were looking to take an open source strategy and make it your own on AlphaInsider so you can either track it, forward test, or auto trade with your own broker, I'm going to walk you through these steps on how to make that possible and how to connect your TradingView strategy, or really any TradingView strategy where you have access to the PineScript code, and connect it to AlphaInsider in just a couple of steps. So first things first, you'll make an account for free with AlphaInsider. You can do this for free, and you're going to come to a page that looks like this. If you do not have any trading bots already, you just will not see this at the top of your screen. You'll then see the strategy marketplace once you are logged in right here. We're going to scroll down, and we're going to go down towards the resources tab. And underneath the resources tab, there will be an option on the left-hand side that will say connect to TradingView. Here you're going to find this video playing right here at the top, and you'll find a step-by-step written walkthrough of what you'll need to do. I'm now going to take that and give you the details in a video format. So now let's get into that. We're going to need to have access to a trading strategy on TradingView. So let's go ahead and do that first. Okay, so I'm logged into my TradingView. I've got this Claude momentum breakout strategy right here. I can now see it on my chart. I got a back test right here, and I want to bring it over to AlphaInsider. This way I can forward test. I can validate the back test so I can see if it trades in live trading like the backtest is showing, to avoid things like overly curve fitting or repainting. Those are some major concerns that people are going to want to do this for, on top of the simple want to automate your trades and automate a strategy that you built or that you have access to on TradingView already. So you're going to go over to your strategy up on the top left of TradingView, go over to the three dots. You'll then select the top selection, at least as of right now, the way TradingView is set up, and it will say add alert on the Claude adaptive momentum breakout. That's the name that I have for this strategy. So click on that. It'll open up this box, this little window. And there's a couple things we have to make sure we are aware of here. The first thing is the condition. That is this trading strategy. I need to make sure that it is the trading strategy that I want to be bringing over to AlphaInsider. Then I want to make sure my interval is correct. When it says same as chart, that means the way the strategy is operating and firing based on the way that I have my current chart selected on the 1-day time frame. That's how this alert is going to get set in place. And so once I X out, even if I delete the alert from what is showing on my TradingView dropdown, we're still going to have an active alert that's going to still fire based on these conditions. So make sure that those are set. The next thing will be the expiration. I have it set to open-ended, which means this will not expire until I go in and I manually delete it. I'll show you how to do that in just 1 second. I do want to make sure you are aware this does require the webhook capabilities on TradingView, so it is not a completely free thing that you can do with a free TradingView account. You will have to have the ability to send webhook alerts. That is part of this process. Moving on, we have the message and then the notifications. I'll actually start with the notifications because that's the webhook. So kind of a quick segue. We need to have the correct webhook URL. Here on the notification tab, we can set notifications in the app, toast notifications, email notifications, sounds, whatever we want to do. It's up to us how we want to get these notifications. If we want them, we might not. You might have a bunch of trading strategies and you just don't want to get all these bombarded messages, and that's totally fine. The only thing we must have here is the webhook URL. This is the AlphaInsider webhook URL. It is this webhook URL right here. And if I go back to that resources page, it is this one that is highlighted in pink right here. We're going to copy this webhook URL because when you see this the first time, you're not going to have anything in there. Or if you've done this in the past, you might have a different webhook URL in there. So copy the webhook URL from AlphaInsider on the resources page under step number 2 and paste it into this section right here with the webhook URL, and make sure that the webhook URL is ticked as a checked box. Click on apply, and then we go to the message section right here. Whatever they have inside the message section, we need to get rid of this completely because this is not going to serve what we need. We now need to go back to AlphaInsider and we need to copy this right here. We made it very easy to copy. You're going to copy this entire thing, top right of this little box. It'll copy to your clipboard, and then we're going to just simply paste over what's in the message section and drop that in. We're not done, but we now have that in place. The next thing is we want to name the alert. So I'm going to call this, whatever, ETH Claude breakout 1 day, just so I know what this is. Name this however you want to. Now we have to add a strategy ID, a stock ID. We don't do anything for the action. We can go up to 2x leverage if we would like to. We have to change pyramiding if we know if this is and our strategy involves pyramiding. And then the last step will be the API token. This way, once we add all these things, every time this fires on TradingView, it's going to get sent directly to AlphaInsider. And so we're going to be able to track and log the trades, and I'll show you how it will look once it's all finalized. So now back to AlphaInsider, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my portfolio tab up in the top right. I'm going to click on new strategy because I'm connecting now a new strategy from TradingView. I'm going to call this same thing I just called it before, ETH Claude breakout. That's up to me. I can describe it. If I want to put a link to my TradingView strategy page there, I can totally do that. If I made a public link that I have my strategy information on TradingView. The starting balance right here is our initial paper trading balance. So while we watch this play out over time, we're not committing real funds to this until we connect our broker and build a trading bot. This is going to model how the strategy trades, and we can see how much our P&L is up over time. So I'll put $1,000 in here, but you can put any amount you want. I'm then going to determine if it is a stock or a crypto trading strategy, because if I go back to my page right here, this is on ETH USD. This is a crypto trading strategy. I'm going to go back, select crypto, make sure that is set, and then I have access to select public, private, or paid. If it's a stock strategy, I do not have the option of making it a paid strategy because you have to have the proper documentation that you can actually give financial advice. So reach out to us or refer to our strategy monetization video if you want to learn more about that process. I can make it public, I can make it private, or I can make it paid. Paid means if someone subscribes to it, they'll have to pay you a monthly price in order to have access to your strategy if they want to copy it, auto trade, etc. Totally up to you. I'm going to make mine private in this example and click on create. Now that we get to this page right here, we have almost everything we need. Up in the top right, there's a 3-dot icon. If I go to connections, it'll actually populate this exact same TradingView setup page that we were just talking about before. So you always will have easy access to it right here. And now we're moving down to strategy ID. So we have to add the strategy ID, which is found in the URL bar when looking at the strategy from the strategy page, which you will find right up here. So it is everything after the last slash. When looking at the 1-year time frame on our charts, if I move it to the monthly, you will see everything after the last slash right before the question mark. Grab that. That is the strategy ID. Put it over on TradingView into the strategy ID section right here. Paste it in. Make sure it's in between the quotes. Then we need a stock ID. So we're trading Ethereum in this example. We're going to go down to the new order section of the timeline, search for stocks. In this case, it's crypto, same thing. Find the ticker of what you're looking to trade, click on that, and then we have an option to copy it right here. The stock ID is this little copy box right here, ETHUSD Coinbase. Once we copy that, we're going to paste that into the stock ID in between the quotes again. Boom. Strategy market position, we're going to leave that the same. Leverage, I'm going to leave it as 1, but we can go up to 2x leverage. Pyramiding, I'm going to leave it as 1. I'll talk about that in 1 second. And the last step is the API token. Back on AlphaInsider to grab my API token, I'm going to go to the 3 dots on my new strategy. Go to connections. I'm going to scroll on down to the developers settings page. Open that up in a new tab. Name the API key. Click on TradingView. It will only select the permissions that you need. Enter your password in, create your key. I've got a bunch already. Make sure you save that key because you can use it for multiple trading strategies. This way you don't have to keep making new keys. Once you do that, you are good to go. Take the API key, put it into the API token spot, and now you are good to go. I'm going to now click on create. You will then scroll up to your little clock alert icon up here, and you will see under alerts, our new strategy is now active. If we want to pause or delete, we can easily go ahead and do that up in the top right here. Now, really quick, back to my strategy settings. If I go to the properties tab, you will see a pyramiding option. Pyramiding set to 0 means the exact same thing as 1. So if your strategy has pyramiding as 0 or 1, you are good to leave pyramiding alone when you're creating this alert as just 1. However, if your strategy does have pyramiding, you can actually set this between 0 and 100. So just make sure you enter that properly in to match the strategy that you're backtesting on TradingView when on AlphaInsider. Here is the example of a final product. We'll now see the strategies here. I've got a little bit of a description with a link, and then we can see all of the trades being tracked live right here. And the final step will just be clicking on the auto trade if we'd like to auto trade this with our own broker, but refer to our next videos if you want to do that. Any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. That is how you connect any TradingView strategy over to AlphaInsider to track, verify, and even automate your trading.